I almost clicked on the wrong scene. Lamau. Alright. I think I already did my Blue Archive PvP, so I don't need to worry about that. I usually never think about that because I always do it on stream, but it's an infamous non-Blue Archive day, I guess. Alright. This game. Woo! Back to it. Is anyone here? I'm the one person. Oh yeah. Man, whenever I go non-Blue Archive stuff, it's always like, nah. That's alright. I need to play like normie RPG next, don't I? The obscure games are even too much for the Blue Archive audience. Alright, let's continue though, because I like this. Alright, did I always have like mouse or was it cursor before? I don't remember. Alright, here. We'll finish this one, we'll probably take a break from Higurashi. Oh boy, how'd this end? I got new tips, right? What were the new tips? I read these already. Okay. Yeah. I remember now. We learned the guy died, obviously, if you can tell from the... Let's just continue on then. Oh boy, tractor. EP. Oh, that was a really big yawn, Keiichi-kun. I'm usually awake once it's time to eat, but it doesn't look like I do today. And the problem is me too, but then I get tired from eating. I was watching TV until late last night. I'm so tired right now. I know what you mean. Except not TV. That's old news. It was one of those raunchy TV shows you love so much on last night. What do you mean by that? How extremely vile. What do you mean by that? Don't jump to conclusions. It's perfectly normal for boys not to be ashamed of. Why are you saying that? Why are you of all people? Rika not patting my head only made me feel worse. Do you just let me pass out this lunch break? No, seriously? You think I would just sit here and allow that? What are you gonna do to me, ma'am? I'll get really angry if you disturb me. Really angry. I think she's gonna disturb us. This was just dreadful. Just so sleepy. I slumped my head onto the desk and drifted off into an afternoon nap. It seems that Satoko has responded, but I pretended not to hear. Cut it out, Satoko-chan. Is she drawing on him? Is that how it is? Is that how it's going? Keiichi-kun fell asleep. A sleepy face, so cute. Oh. What are you saying in my sleep? Hello, Ineda. You can take him home later. What? Honestly, that's probably okay. Let him be for now. Let's move over there. It'd be rude to Keiichi if we bother him now. Rika-chan really is a good girl. Let's not wake him up even if the teacher comes back. I take that back. Excuse that I didn't sleep much last night because I was watching TV was a lie. Ooh, what'd you do? I was in bed at the usual time, but because of the conversation with Oishi-san that afternoon, I didn't get much. That makes sense. Just spending the day like this, it's almost as if the incident with Tomitake-san didn't happen at all. Made me think, was Oishi-san just trying to deceive me? I mean, he did seem really sus, especially talking to a high schooler about something so, like, important. But it was probably the truth. One thing was certain, I couldn't speak to anyone about it. He wanted my assistance, but I really didn't know anything about it. If I knew I was going to be of any help, I probably wouldn't have listened in the first place. It ended up with me, again, regretting learning something I didn't need to know. If I had never learned about it, I would, without a doubt, be goofing off with the rest of them right now. I couldn't help but resent Oishi-san for this. Huh? When was that? I heard he was there the next day. It appears he vanished the night of the Watanagashi. Oh, did they know? Neon whispered to keep others from listening, but I could hear it clearly. You feel pregnant? That's great. It's great. On the other hand, Rena's voice was even harder to pick up. But I could still tell that she was quite upset. It couldn't be. Are they talking about Tomitake-san? I mean, that makes sense. I mean, there's no way they can't, like, figure out. Yeah. take... Not sure. Wait, what? That's all I know. Or I would have to feign ignorance about this topic because I needed to keep it a secret. Rather than waking up and being forced to lie to join the conversation, it's much easier just to sit here and pretend I was asleep to listen in on the discussion. I've done this many times. It is actually really useful. Never trust someone who's sleeping. They're always awake. Wait, why did I have to pretend to be asleep while eavesdropping on my friend's conversation? The guilt stung. Nah. So, enemy, there are others, right? Two? But I don't know if it's from the curse or if this is from, this was in Onikakushi. Onikakushi? That's the name of the game. Onikakushi. To be hidden away by a demon? Yeah. What a mysterious phrase. I did, however, get the feeling it meant nothing good. Yeah. Oh, there was another one, right? What? Right? If it's Oyashiro-sama's. Yeah. But you're that all? Why is Rena sounding difficult? Grandma and the mayor had talked about it. Seems they talked to the police about it beforehand. Your wrist is dead from a certain circle clicking game. Yeah, that's why your wrist is dead. No other reason it could possibly be. Grandma and the mayor had talked about it. Seems they talked to the police about it beforehand. They said they'd take care of whatever happens this year without causing a commotion. Then, without us knowing it, someone had... them, you mean? What? Huh? Maybe. Next could be me, I wonder. Don't worry. We got home safely. But, it's not allowed, right? That was a long time ago. Let's stop talking about this. Amidst the uncomfortable mood, both of them went silent. The entirety of the conversation was still a bit unclear, but a few parts caught my attention. First of all, the term Onikakushi. To be demoned away. By the context it was used in, I would guess it's similar to being spirited away. Oh, okay, so it is different. How is that different? I suspected that was what it was meant because Tomitake-san and that woman really bugged me that I don't know her name. That is true. Vanished after the Watanagashi. Next thing that stuck out was when Rena said, "There's another one, right?" Mion also said, "If it's Oyashiro-sama's, yeah," responded to something. If it's Oyashiro-sama's curse, then there had to be two victims. Is that what she meant? Come to think of it, I remember Mion saying at the beginning that they didn't know if it was from the curse or if it was a case of an Onikakushi. Seems that the curse and being demoned away are different things, and they were phenomena that were paired together. I recalled Tomitake-san's terrible end. That wasn't something as elegant as disappearing. That horrendous end would be best be described as cursed. Then the woman with him, I mean, she vanished because she was demoned away. What I do know is that there's normally an even number of victims of the curse proper. Oh, I see. I guess so when you consider... I don't remember how many people... Wait, with the body, right? They each took a limb. Yeah, maybe there was 6. I don't remember, though. The last point that bothered me was Rena, yeah. Rena was frightened. Well, isn't that... At least she's frightened and not like... Yeah, it's fair. For what reason, I didn't know. She's also new, isn't she? However, she knew that something had made her a potential target for Oyashiro-sama's curse. If I recall correctly, Oyashiro-sama should be the guardian deity of Hinamizawa. Isn't a guardian deity supposed to defend the citizens and drive out invaders? Yeah. If I recall correctly, yesterday Oishi-san said that originally the targets were enemies of the village, but recently there was no longer any distinction between them or regular outsiders. But if that was the case, then I would think that I'd be the more likely target, having moved here more recently than Rena. From her composure, I could infer that she was grimly certain that she would be next. I should probably relay what I heard just now to Oishi-san, informing the police of what I heard by eavesdropping on my friends while pretending to be asleep. It made me feel terrible. Erased a few questions and left me with a bad taste in my mouth. Would it be better to not to seek the answers to those questions? As I continued to learn more and more, I felt like I had fallen past the point of no return. I would definitely regret this one day. I definitely regret ever having learned of these events. Teacher approaches. Keiichi-san, you must be awakened. Ooh. In the distance, I could hear the ring of the handbell, signaling the start of afternoon classes. Yeah, couldn't sleep at all. I know what he means, though. I hastily opened my eyes and raised my head up. It was in that moment when I leaned against the back of my seat. Oh! The thumbtack stuck on the back of my chair with tape. That's fucked up. Kind of funny. Circumstantial evidence was enough. Satoko! Guilty without trial. Based. Capital punishment. Based. I ferociously jumped up from my seat, and I tripped as if my feet were tangled up. Did she tie his shoelaces together? My shoelaces had been tied together. Beautiful. Artful even. Not bad, Satoko. While I was sleeping, you were able to conceal your presence to pull off this fine piece of work. Teacher came in right when I was about to pull off my shoes and tackle Satoko. Oh ho ho. Did you not notice that our teacher has arrived, Keiichi-san? Take your seat. That smug ass look. Clump. Not carrying one bit, I made her eat a flick to the forehead. Mwah! Keiichi-san is being mean. Hey, don't pick on the younger kids, Mayabara-kun. She's a little bitch, though. Apologize to her. I says I had to go stick her tongue at me. That little brat. Come on, Mayabara-kun. Is this an OG Mesugaki? Who is the OG Mesugaki, guys? Obviously, did you see that Mutsuki lost the pole to Nozumi? That was tragic, by the way. That was tragic. Who is the OG Mesugaki? This is required info. Your wrist is dead from a certain activity involving aiming. I understand. They're heavy. Yeah, I'll apologize. Sorry, Satoko-san. In any case, I apologize, even if it was in a complete and sincere tone of voice. Aha! I got that tone. Never, I'll remember this. Kei-chan, get your revenge at the club meeting. Take your seat. Sat down after Mia told me to. She switched to class representative mode. Saw Mutsuki losing too fucking rigged. Yeah, look at my reply on my Mutsuki account. Here, wait, hold on. I'll actually pull it up. That'd be funny. Let me go on the right account. Let's see if it's already gotten traction. Lamau. It's all the tastes. Wow. Fair though. But to be fair, that's the reason Blue Archive was winning to begin with. Anyway, so on this one, I just said. Whoops, I need to go to replies. Out of everything, I always say kufufu, right? On every single post. I feel like this is necessary. Kufufu. I will say, some of these are doing numbers with replies. I need to start, like this account, I need to like just stop making posts and just reply to everything Mutsuki related just with a kufufu. Simple. It's actually legitimately gotten me. Where do we go? Where's the notifications? Look at that. People are following me for this. Kind of crazy, am I right? That was kind of dangerous to do that, especially with this man posting. I should probably turn this off. That's probably for the best. I don't want to have a Hazuki moment, you know? The boring class is finished. School is finally over for today. Now then, what should we do for our club today? Personally, I would like to play that deduction game one more time. Yeah, you were doing really good at that. That's why. I was hardly able to. Oh, never mind. That wasn't the one you were doing well. That was one you were doing bad at. Hazuki moment, yeah. Luckily, so funnily enough, sir, my Twitter is fairly clean. You actually make up 90% of my, like, silly stuff that comes on my Twitter. Like, 90% of it is just a retweet from you. Obviously, I still got that 10% of, like, you know, the very nice stuff, but you're 90% of it. I was hardly able to play it last time because of Oishi-san. Ren and I weren't even able to test our strategy. 20 days of joblessness? That's crazy. What is the record? I know Philly broke his streak. By the way, were you there yesterday to see I added some, more, what's it called? Oh, I didn't tell you guys this. I look at the, what's it called? What are they called? The channel points. I renamed the channel points. I gave them an icon. I do need to put icons on them though. Like for the actual things that are worth. Ibushi coin? Yeah. Do you like Ibushi coin? Like either Ibu coin or Ibushi coin. I think Ibushi coin is better. Oh man, look at that. Ibuk. Yep. Look at that. Look at that Arinami. You know what to do. You know what to do. Hell yeah, good boy. Alright. Brennan and I weren't even able to test our strategy. That's right. Today, Keiichi-kun and I will be victorious. Also, you really need to tell me when Hiromi's next streaming so I can gift you the sub for all your moderator work. Alright. Oh, I didn't read that. Fuck. That's right. Today, Keiichi-kun and I will be victorious. What should we do? We've never played the same game 2 days in a row before. Oh. Why not try asking me? Mion looked over her shoulder as we made eye contact. Slowly, she tapped her palm with her fist as her face suddenly lit up. We won't give him a choice. We might force you to play one rhythm game next stream. Yeah, that's like stuff like that. She seems busy lately. Probably gotta be. Yeah, me. No, I'm joking. And haven't streamed in weeks. I know. That's why I won't notice when she comes back, but I know you will. So, if you want your thing, then you have to notify me. Oops. I completely forgot. I need to go help my uncle today. What? Sorry guys, not today. Helping your uncle? Oji-san? Aren't you a little goody two-shoes? Sorry, really. I really did forget. Well, then, sorry guys. Us. Hiromi actually reads BA story out of commissions per week. It happened more than once at this point. Oh, really? I don't even know what like she's sickly with because she says she's always sick, and I obviously I see the stuff from the Discord. I don't watch her enough to know like what's her problem. Unless this is not from sickness. Oh, hello, Mohammed Madi. Sorry, really? I really did forget. Well then, sorry guys. This old man is heading back home now. Mion left us with that and rushed off to the exit after snatching up her bag. What is this game? It's Higurashi no Naku Koro ni. It's well, funnily enough, you may know it most from the anime, but if you don't know from that, then it's a horror game, kind of visual novel. We haven't gotten to much of the horror part yet, and it's already been it's long, and this is just the first game. There's like 10. Mion left us with that and rushed off to the exit after snatching up her bag. You see, Mi-chan, she sometimes goes to help out her uncle's shop in the town. Oh yeah, they did mention that, didn't they? I thought she wasn't the type to get caught up in such bothersome stuff. She said that she gets paid for it. Okay, that's why. Quite a bit of spending money from what I hear. It's her condition. She had it mostly sorted out during her, like 9 months. Very society. Okay. I see. I have no health problems, just to let you know, so if I disappear, it's because I'm dead. She was able to pay for that mountain of games with what she saved up from there. With that, Wouldn't you call that a part-time job? Yeah. Isn't that against school policy? Well, if it's family, I don't think it counts. You think Hiromi is gonna read this VOD to be her up with her hiatus? I know, but I'm not saying anything that's that crazy. I'm mostly being funny. I'm not being serious here. And plus, it's Arinami that's saying the most incriminating stuff. I'm just being silly. You can't see his silliness through the text if you interpret it badly. I don't want her to know my power level. Does she not know your power level, sir? You have quite an intense power level if you know. I'm like one of the few people that you can go full power with, and even then, there's some things you say that I go, man, be a little more subtle, please. There's a clause that states family businesses are excluded. Oh, that makes sense, kind of. Is that what she's calling it? So what now? Guys on the club today? So we're done today, I guess. Want to be fine even without the club president? I mean, they could probably still do something. Let's do this. I opened the club locker and began searching for the deduction game from the ever-growing pile of games. How old is this game? 24 years old, I believe. It's old. It's early 2000s. So right now, I have a mod that updates the graphics, so it's obviously didn't look like that long ago. I'm using the sprites from the console version, but I'm using the text from the original that was not as censored. So honestly, if you don't mind, the regular normal version is just fine. I just don't like censored stuff. And it's not even that bad from what I hear. It's mostly just like ported, like just from being able, so it's ported from PC to PlayStation 3, I believe, and the Steam version is the PlayStation 3 port. So yeah, it's not that sus, even with the completely uncensored version. It's just a lot of the jokes are a little like sussier, but there's nothing like, it doesn't show anything. It's just words. And then somehow says crazier stuff than me. Ineta, I feel it's so funny with Ineta. He like, what about the anime? Animes, I mean, it's just violent. Just violent. It's a horror anime. It's also really old too. The anime is like 2006, 2008, if I recall. I think 2006. Just notice the chat background. Oh yeah, I love that image. I send that to people at work. When I show up, I literally send that in like the work group chat. I should do that more. Up at the club locker and began searching for the deduction game from the ever-growing pile of games. Ah, here it is. The deduction game from yesterday. Man, I had to stop just as I was getting the hang of it. I was 4 years old when the anime came out. When did it come out? Wait, aren't you a little younger than me? I think I was 6 then. Higurashi. Yeah, 2006. I was 6. I think they made a remake to the anime. They did. I never watched that though. I watched the original because you're so mature for your age. Hold on. What was better to look at? Let's see. Yeah, when did the remake come out? 2020. Yeah, because I watched the original back in like 2014, 2015. So I remember when the remake came out, but I was like, eh. I may watch it after playing this though, because that sounds kind of fun. Ah, here it is, the deduction game from yesterday. Man, I had to. Oh, I think I read that 3 times. At the very least, I wanted to repay Satoko for what she did during the afternoon break. And do the plan. I do not mind. What is that fine for Renaissance and Mika? If Keiichi-kun wants to so badly, I wouldn't mind playing for a bit. Damn. Oh yeah, let me show you real quick. Now I see the sprites. So back in, oh, it's lagging. Hold on. Come on. There we go. Oh, there we go. So this is the original 2002 game sprites. Yeah, you can see why we're not using those. It's the console sprites. The manga gamer sprites are more updated. I just don't like them. I think the console ones are better. I think it's better if we do it when we have everyone together. When she says it like that, I wanted to go shopping if there wasn't a club meeting today. Going to buy soy sauce and other things. I still have a big, like, 1 liter bottle of soy sauce that I have not touched because I haven't made anything that uses it. You know what my dad puts on rice that's low-key fire? And you're gonna laugh because it's so simple and it's very white. I'll wait for people to guess before I say it. I feel like it's a good guessing game. Oh, that's right. Completely forgot. Well, I guess since it's been a while, I should go treasure hunting. What's this now? Everyone was no longer in the mood for club activities. Don't say mayo. No, so funnily enough, both my parents hate mayo more than me. Like my dad, if he's given a sandwich with mayo, he will like won't eat it, or like he'll scrape it off. And my mom, same thing. For me, I'll tolerate mayo. I like Japanese mayo, like the spicy mayo, like they put in sushi. Well, to be fair, that's not really the spicy one's not really Japanese, but I like sushi mayo. But yeah, but both my parents hate mayo. I'm the weird one that's okay with it. Yeah, but but no, not mayo on rice. That doesn't sound bad though. Like with the Japanese mayo on rice. I mean, to be fair, that's in like most onigiri. If I kept on like the tuna oni or the maguro onigiri I had in Japan had so much mayo in it that my friend actually hated it, and he's a big mayo lover. Like, well, not big mayo lover, but he likes mayo more than me. I didn't mind it because it still tasted good. If I kept on trying to push the matter, they may make them realize I had a trick up my sleeve. Is this your favorite game? I've never played this before. If you look at the rest of my channel, you could probably see what my favorite game right now is. Well, I'll give up this time. And I really was looking forward to playing it. I shuffled through the cards as if I was still caught up on it. At the next opportunity, I shall give you a sound thrashing. Oh ho ho. The murderer is Satoko. The murder weapon is pistol. It was you after all. What did you say? Then I'll just let it go look through the cards on the desk and stuck at all three of them at me. Murder is Keiji. In the lounge with the rope. Damn. I don't need no rope. I'll just strangle you like this. No! Keiichi's son is such a beast. Oh man. I didn't know a lot about the anime in the game. I watched the anime back like 10, 11 years ago. And then I was playing other visual novels, and I thought, what are some really good visual novels? And this is like one of the ones that came to my head of like very famous ones. I may play Umineko next, but it's just when looking for good visual novels, this was the first thing that popped in my head. And plus, like all the info I was saying, I had a Wikipedia tab in the corner in one of my monitors when I was like looking up when the game, or not when the game, but when the show came out. Ooh. Phew. Well, I guess it's good that I got that out of my system. I know what you mean. Whoa. Mwah! I'll remember this Keiji-san. She was used as a plaything for quite a while. What do you mean by that, ma'am? What do you mean by that? Marinami moment. You poor thing. Cute, cute. Everyone got ready to go back home. I also helped gather up the scattered cards. That's a good choice of words, exactly. I suddenly paused. Or just the suspect cards, but I noticed something strange. Rena, Satoko, Rika, Keiichi, Mion. Okay. Satoshi? Who's Satoshi? Wait, I think I know who Satoshi is. Satoshi? All the cards were made by us. Or at least every card besides this one has the name of a club member. Does that mean that the Satoshi fellow is a member? Was someone in the class named Satoshi? I couldn't find anyone named Satoshi on the class roster stuck up on the wall. Keiichi-kun, let's hurry up and finish cleaning up. Being rushed by Rena, I finished up quickly. Satoko and Rika-chan had already headed merrily for their lockers, so we were the only ones left in the classroom. Right now, Rena had already gotten her bag and was ready to leave. Rena? Must be quite a few people who transfer from the school, right? Tried asking Rena in a bit of a roundabout way. Rena made a troubled face and then answered. Yeah? Inamizawa is a rural town, right? Some people transfer out every now and then. And is Satoshi another one of those transferees? Sorry? I don't really know. Okay. There's a bit of a pause, but the answer was pretty much immediate. Not saying it to be mean. This last year, I transferred in, so maybe I just missed him. I didn't hear much about him. Sorry. Us. I'm not sure. Sorry. I'm not sure. Sorry. Her answer was a lot like when she refused to tell me about the murder at the dam. I was saddened by her denial and felt a little bit of anger. I'm their friend, aren't I? Friends don't keep secrets from their friends, do they? Well, depends. This is like sus because they're all like... It's like they're excluding you because they all know it instead of just an individual one. But I do appreciate that they kept that unsettling curse thing from me. I mean... They should like tell you all even the sussy stuff. But if everyone is worried about it, I'd rather be worried with them. Exactly. That's what it means to be friends, right? For a moment, I wondered just what kind of face I was making just then, with these mixed feelings of sadness and annoyance. Keiichi-kun, you're making a scary face. Why is it? Why? Probably exactly the kind of face Rena said it was. It appeared my grim expression had frightened her. Ah, sorry. I was really looking forward to the club today. Just feeling down about it. Just realized I haven't sent Valentine's card to Hiromi. Sir, February is almost over. You're almost 2 weeks late. Fake fan. Fake Oshi. I rustled Rena's hair. The committee's stoker. Let's go home. Dragging that awkward mood with us, we headed home. I wonder why. Why have I been getting this dumb feeling lately? I didn't know anything. I had nothing to worry about. I was just enjoying my everyday life. My long, outstretched shadow gave no answer to my naive inquiry. Keiichi-kun, are you tired, maybe? Maybe? Rena timidly questioned the reason behind my mood. Sure, my expression made the situation even more unsettling. You think so? Your stone-cold incel shouldn't bother me. You know what's really funny? You know Lithical? He says that a lot. So next time you see him in chat, just ask him if he's a stone-cold incel. He may appear today, honestly. He gets up pretty early because he works early. We have the opposite schedule when it comes to work, so... Yeah. Seem to have been a little out of it ever since this morning. Maybe a cold? Physically, I was pretty sure I was in perfect health. It may not seem like it, but I've had perfect attendance since elementary school. You two are very similar, except you're a lolicon and he's a furry. So it's like, but he's like he's a chud furry, if that even possible. You know what I mean? He makes it work though. Like, he's an interesting person to get to know for that reason. He's the only based furry to ever... Yeah, you remember? Yeah, he's the only one. Another gacha game? No, this one's a visual novel. There's no gacha in this one. Very similar, though. What's a furry? Rena continued on since I didn't give her an answer. It could be that the fatigue from moving has finally caught up to you. It's completely different from where you used to live, after all. The first time someone called you a lolicon? Well, you're everything. You're everything, sir. No comment on that question. That's not something that I have the right to explain. It's something that you need to hear from a professional. I'll invite him to explain it someday. Once my schedule's a bit better, he'll be on stream actually a lot more. Likely. We'll see. When I was doing the 7 Days to Die streams, he was on a lot. He's actually like, any game with a gun, he'll be in there. He's the gun guy. Like, if we have... So, let's say we're... Like, I'm with my main friend group, right? And and we are playing, like, a survival game. He's the guy that we give whatever machine gun possible, and he'll kill everything for us. He is that guy. That is his role. He kills. He wants to join ICE, by the way. Are playing this game for the first time? I mean, this is the 5th. Well, technically, this part, yeah, but this is the 5th episode of this game. This game's quite long. I am like halfway done with it, but there's like 10 games. So it'll take a while. But we're honestly still in like build up. There hasn't been anything that crazy yet. Just one character died off screen. It's a horror game, by the way. I'll mention that. Of course, you've gotten tired, since there's so much you need to get used to and remember. Maybe that's it. Yeah, it has to be. I was also like that at first too. I can tell, you know. I wondered if Rena also experienced a slight bit of alienation last year that I was feeling right now. Thinking so, I felt that she was the only one who could understand how I felt. I'd like to hear about when you first came to Hinamizawa. How was it? Feeling I had been drawn into the conversation, her face suddenly brightened. Ahaha. It was the same as Keiichi-kun. I didn't know the villagers' names at all. Mi-chan and the rest were all very kind, so I wasn't lonely. But I did still feel a little out of place. Renan told me all the details of when she had moved here. All of her acquaintances and surprises, worries and good times. So, Satoko got you too? Yeah. There was a thumbtack put under my chair. That's me. Poke. And with that, yeah. That really takes me back. When were you invited to the club? First day? Nah. It wasn't a club at the beginning. It was formed partway through. Does he know people will click on this? Who? Wait, who? Me? Yeah. That's yeah. One day, she said we should stay after and hold a big game tournament. Come to think of it, Mion did say she was the first club president. Now I get it. This is a secret, but Mi-chan used to be really bad at the beginning, damn. She'd never win. Huh? Mion? Really? I can't even imagine that. She had to do most of the penalties that she came up with. Wow. Seriously, don't tell. I can't believe Mion was like that. So she gradually transformed into a monster who used any means necessary to win that game. Or that time. Mion is at her best when she's fighting dirty. It's true. I began making more friends besides Mi-chan after that, but yeah. It might have only been since you moved here. I can't read. That I had finally felt like I had gotten used to it here. Oh. I guess Rena had also been left in the dark about Oyashiro-sama when she had just moved here. I guess when they finally told me about Oyashiro-sama, I'd be considered one of them. Yeah. I wonder when I'll finally be considered one of them. Huh? Did you say something? Nah, sorry. Just talking to myself. Aha, Keiichi-kun, you're silly. Rena was poking fun and laughing at me, and I couldn't help but laugh as well. But I suddenly stopped. Then, after making up my mind, I spoke. What's the name of this game? You'll try to download it. What is it actually called? I know it's called Higurashi when they cry ho. I guess that's a way to translate it. Yeah, just look up Higurashi. That's probably the best way. Technically the one I'm on right now is free. Like, the first game is free. There is, how many are there? Can I see? Default list. There's different chapters, and this is chapter 1. Yeah, the first game is chapter 1, Onikakushi. And I believe there's like 10 chapters, right? There's 9, and there's like a... I don't even know what the next thing is. Looks kind of like a Bleach character. Oh, what's her name? I never seen Bleach, but I know who you're talking about. I'd recognize if someone mentions it. After making my mind, I finally spoke. Hey, Rena. Is there something that everybody's keeping from me? Orihime? Yes, her. She does kind of look like her, except without the boobs. Huh? No, not at all. You're lying, aren't you? Rena suddenly stopped. Her expression was cold and intense. Ooh. What do you mean by that, H-kun? Tone was still the same cheery and light-hearted one as before. You are, aren't ya? Keeping something from me? After understanding what I meant, her expression grew even more intense. Ooh. Seeing that face, I regretted saying something so rash. But she came back at me in a way I didn't expect. Oh. Well then, Keiichi-kun. Aren't you keeping something from us? No. Huh? Her tone didn't change, but it was the first time I seen this expression from Rena. I remember losing gallons to that one green-haired girl when they went Demon Romale chapters. I feel that. With how her gaze pierced through me, I couldn't believe this was the same Rena. She's a tender? Tender? What do you mean? Also, I want to see how this looks with the... Oh, okay, they just colored it differently, the eyes differently. But the zoom in really helps. Oh, aren't you? You mean yandere? Yeah, I know what you meant. Yeah, she is. I believe so. Well, to be fair, technically yandere means they're in love with you as well. Which she is, but you couldn't tell from what you've seen so far. But I guess maybe you could. Do we die here? Let's see. Lies or secrets? Aren't you? You are. Secrets. She didn't actually say that part, but she looked as if she did. The incident with Tomitake-san and how I felt alienated from the group. Even without having to think about it, there were things I knew that I felt guilty about. But I didn't tell everybody about what happened with Tomitake-san, so to be considerate. I was keeping it a secret just the same way I didn't tell, they didn't tell me about Oyashiro-sama. Then are we even? No, I'm not. No lies. No secrets. Liar. Her answer was instant and it shook me. Rena stared as if burrowing through me. Watching me like a hawk. Ma'am? Why would you say that I'm lying? Didn't you say that you were called into the teacher's room yesterday during the club meeting, Keiichi-kun? I know. You didn't go to the teacher's room. Swallowed hard. Clearly it wasn't a bluff. She knew what happened. Teacher said you had a guest, didn't she? But you didn't talk at the entrance. Talked inside the car near the school gate. With some man we didn't know. Rena knew everything. She knew that I was called out by Oishi-san and that I heard about the incident with Tomitake-san as well. Did she know all about it? All of it? Exactly who was that man? I don't know him. Why did someone you didn't know have business with you? I want to know that myself. And what did you talk about? It has nothing to do with you guys. It was a lie. Rena's scream echoed through the trees. Ma'am, calm down. Sending frightening birds into the air. I couldn't exhale the deep breath I had just taken. No, it was like I was unallowed to exhale. It was here I first realized. Person in front of me, she wasn't Rena Ryugu. Then who was it that was standing before me now? Who had assumed Rena Ryugu's appearance? I had held my breath for so long I could feel myself suffocating. Silly. Right? And then she made a facial expression that Rena normally might have made. It didn't matter that it was Rena's usual smile. It chilled me to the bone. Hey, no, stop it. Not again. She drew closer to me. Felt her breath against my face. It wasn't the least bit exciting. Whoever this was, with Rena's face, was going to chew my nose right off. Lucky. I cowered as I imagined that. Then she smirked as if she was able to see right through me. We also have secrets, just like how Keiichi-kun has secrets. It was Rena's usual smile, but her eyes were still like that of a hawk's. Bringing her face close enough to mine to almost bump into my nose, she kindly persuaded me. I couldn't nod or shake my head. This person standing in front of me, person who looked like Rena, frightened me to my core. I was terrified knowing that she could hear the sound of me swallowing nervously. After what felt like an eternity, after a long empty silence, she finally spoke. Let's go. It's getting chilly. Yeah, I'm quite chilled. It was Rena again. Smiling at me once more, she started walking as if nothing had at all had happened. Okay. When I was released from her gaze, my legs gave out from under me, and I slumped onto the ground. I was unable to lift a finger until Rena was out of sight. Who was that? I felt cold, my body was drenched in sweat. I was finally able to form a coherent thought and ask myself once again, who was that person who looked like Rena Ryugu? Man. Okay, we didn't die. Yeah. I was out of it and couldn't bring myself to do anything until dinner except stare blankly into space. I know what you mean. Was I terrified from Rena going off on me? No, that's not right. I was someone else who only looked like Rena. And who could it have been? A dreadful feeling. Knowing that that was someone else, not Rena. Tomorrow I shouldn't have a problem talking to Rena like I usually do. That thought was strangely comforting. I concluded that I should just calm down and clear my head. Though those thoughts continued swirling around my mind. Finally, I returned to my senses as I heard my mother calling out to me from the bottom of the stairs. Eiichi! It's a call from the bookstore! What? The bookstore? Can't think of why they'd be calling me. Okay, this is weird. Okay. Went downstairs and picked up the receiver anyway. It's the cop. Oh, fucking it's the cop. Why are you calling yourself the bookstore? Why aren't you talking to my parents either? They should know. They're not associated with Oyashiro-sama. My apologies for calling so late at night. What the fuck? It's me, Oishi, of the Okinomiya bookshop. Shut the fuck up. Oishi-san? Oh, it's Oishi-san. Sorry. Your parents picked up. I said I was from the bookstore. It puts people off when I say I'm a police officer. Yeah, I know what you mean. Oishi-san was, in his own way, rather courteous. Even so, I didn't want my parents hearing me talk to the police. I brought the cordless phone with me, and cordless phone. Ooh, fancy. This was back in the 80s, too. Wait, did they have cordless phones in the 80s? I actually don't know. Cordless. They had them in the 60s? Rich people stuff, yeah. When were they common? I've always remembered having a cordless phone since I am, in my mid-20s. Yeah, during the early 80s, the 60s is when they were invented. The 80s is when they became widely used. The early 80s. In 1980, it went from 50,000 people in the US to 1 million. Oh, 1 million in 1982. So by 1994, it was, that's when it was like pretty much the standard. So over that decade. You're old enough to have used a rotary phone? I'm not. But I'm old enough to have used a flip phone. Barely, though. I had that in junior high. I got my first iPhone when I was in high school. Yeah. Even though they did have iPhones when I was in junior high, it was just like not... They were slowly becoming normalized. Pretty much you only got them if you had money for it. And plus my parents wouldn't give me a fucking iPhone if I was that young. I brought the cordless phone with me as I dashed back up to my room on the second floor. Sorry for calling so late. phone number on the piece of paper I gave you yesterday was the old number. My apologies. Oh, I see. Can you copy down the number I'm about to give you? The longer this game gets, the more suspense. I know, and it's been so I've been doing like at least 2 hour, like 2 to 3, maybe 4 hour streams of this game. We're on episode 5, right? Or episode 5 of my stream, I should say. Yeah. So I've been suspensed for a while. But we're learning a lot, and it's actually been pretty fun, like without the horror elements, just like the shenanigans are silly. Ah, yeah. Okay. He gave me the number for his direct line as I wrote it down. As I thought that was the end of it, but he began making pointless small talk, and it was pretty hard to hang up. So how has it been, Mayabata-san? Did anything strange happen recently? I see. This was the real reason. He really beat around the bush here. Or there. His adult conversational skills left me slack-jawed. Are you from around here, Oishi-san? Yeah, I am. Born and raised in Okinomiya. If he's from around here, he might know. Oishi-san? You know what this Onikakushi thing is about? I believe that's when somebody suddenly vanishes because they've been abducted by a demon. It's a special saying from around here. It has the same meaning as spirited away like everyone else says. Whereas my friends would say they didn't know when I asked, this older man gave me a direct answer. I'd be a bit happy that he answered me directly without trying to hide anything. Inamizawa was, not sure if I should tell you this, Mayabata-san. Don't try to play this off. If you're not gonna talk, then I'm not gonna tell you anything. Ah, no. That's not what I mean. It's just, it may make you feel bad. You see, long ago, Hinamizawa was feared as the village where demons resided. Damn, I thought that was fucking... Okay, what? Yeah, I thought that was Detroit. There we go. I was thinking of a U.S. city that would work well here. Despair to Epsilon. Yeah, disappear to Epsilon. Oh, you know what? To be fair, that would make sense. Demons. By demons, you mean those pitchfork-carrying things in hell? Oh. More like human-eating monsters. So Oni. Difference between Akuma and Oni. They go down to villages, snatching people up and gobbling them down. That kind of tale. That's the thing. That's why Japanese or English needs a better description to describe Oni versus Akuma. It always irritates me. I mean, I would use ogre as a better word in that case. But it's not even that widely used in English. Rec popularized ogres too much. in a more benevolent way. But to be fair, Onis have kind of been portrayed as benevolent in Japanese media recently, so that's understandable. Demon snatching up people is what this Onikakushi really means. They said that the curse is being demoned away happened together. Does that mean? I already knew what the mysterious deaths happening 5 years in a row. But I didn't know there were people disappearing for those same 5 years. The curse and being demoned away happened together. First time I've heard of that. Is that how it is, Mayabata-kun? Or Mayabata-san? That's what I want to know. You play this game of my taste, you like suspense and horror? Oh yeah, it's really long too, and trust me. So, Yanda, my favorite ever horror game I played for the first time. I have a playlist on my videos. It is a little like sussy, so I couldn't stream it. I had to censor it a bit, but I recommend playing that over anything. It is probably the best horror visual novel I've ever played. It's called Saya no Uta, or Song of Saya. Oh, it's great. Look up. So Arinami, I cannot say that out loud. I cannot repeat your thing out loud because my dad has an Alexa and it will hear me. It will hear me. So if I actually did that and it starts doing that, that'd be so fucking funny. But I can catch myself. That's what I want to know. I heard Rena and Mion talking. They said that if it was really Oyashiro-sama's curse, then both the curse and demon in a way would happen. You know, is that why? Did you want me to do that? I can catch myself. So I think before I read chats, or I think in the middle of it, but I will stop at like some bad words that you sometimes say because of those reasons. Oishi-san began hemming and hawing on the other end of the receiver. Maybe something about that came to mind. Mayabara-san, do you know the first incident? The murder by dismemberment? Ah. When are you adding TTS? It'd be... I will add it to donations? I think I already do. Want to test it? Yeah. One of the 6 perpetrators is still on the run, right? Hypothetically. What if he isn't on the run but was Onikakushi? Huh? It was an outrageous hypothesis from Oishi-san. Oishi-san. I still don't know how to pronounce that quite right. Oishi. Oishi. I don't want to say Oishi because it's weird, so it's probably Oishi. It's weird to call an Oji-san Oishi, you know what I mean? The incident 4 years ago was the particularly ghastly. Police already knew of the perpetrators. So they posted tons of wanted posters of his face on them. They staked out various locations and investigated every possible escape route he had. But after 4 years, there wasn't even a hint of where he might be. Unless the police were completely incompetent. Even if it was an outrageous hypothesis, I couldn't simply laugh it off. And what about the incident the next year? When the man who supported the project and his wife both died in an accident? Actually, it was only the husband who died in an accident. His wife's body never surfaced. Unless we find the body, then it's considered a missing person by law. That's true, actually. The time of the incident, with the river below the cliff being muddy rapids, police divers had searched every branch off the mainstream of the river for dozens of miles, but in the end, they weren't able to find her body. But that's just them not being able to find the body. She's still dead, right? Not different from her being Onikakushi. How would I do it? Onikakushi? Do I just... How do I can't do it plural because there's no plural. I just say demon away, whatever. I cannot say someone is dead without their body. Yeah. Until a certain number of years pass, by law she's treated as still alive. Huh. I'm not sure if it was right to call that being demoned away. The wife was missing. At least, that part was reality. How about the 3rd year? The Shinto priest died of illness, and his wife committed suicide. Did they never find the wife's body? Mayabara-san? That was actually the exact same scenario. I don't know why, but this game reminds me of an anime that I saw on YouTube Shorts. It might be from this anime. It might be the anime. The wife had supposedly thrown herself into the bottomless swamp deep in the forest around Hinamizawa. Meaning it's all circumstantial evidence. They simply found her suicide note in front of the swamp. The diver was able to recover a few of her articles, but they weren't able to find the body. Investigative headquarters believe that she had faked her death and was still alive somewhere. Not sure if we could refer these cases as being demoned away. It's just as you said, every year one person does go missing. The incident this year, the woman with Tomitake-san has gone missing. Yes. And what about the incident with the housewife beaten to death? Who went missing? I believe the perpetrator was caught, right? Yeah, we arrested him. He was just a miscreant with a record of narcotic abuse. I know what he means. He admitted to the crime while being questioned about a different incident. But well, you see, after he was arrested, a child from the victim's home went missing. Oh! Still under investigation. Okay. As to whether the disappearance had anything to do with the crime. We said you caught him, right? Did he have an accomplice? No idea. It was most likely only the one perpetrator. However, we can't even check now. Because while under investigation, that man, he died in his holding cell. Ah! Epstein moment. Or is it? Swallowed a spork and choked to death. Ah! I see. Okay. It's not known whether it was an accident or suicide. I see. Meaning for the last 5 years, there's always one person who dies and one who goes missing. To be fair, if you were to kill yourself, I wouldn't swallow a spork. I would think that wouldn't be the best way. By the way, guys, did I tell you that a few days ago when I was eating lunch at work, I was using a plastic fork, right? Because it was at work, right? And I was eating, and I accidentally like bit down hard, and I took a piece of the fork, like one of the prongs of the, like a little tiny piece of the prong, right? I like bit that off, and it was like within all the food in my mouth, and I tried searching for it in my mouth, like with my tongue, couldn't find it, gave up, and just swallowed the piece of plastic. I was like, yeah, no, I'm not dealing with this. So I just swallowed the piece of plastic fork. It was all right. I was fine. I'm fine. I mean, for the last 5 years, there's always one person who dies and one who goes missing. I already have enough microplastics in my balls anyway. That's about right. Well, actually, I'm surprised as well. I never realized they had that in common. I couldn't believe that this could help lead to the closing of those incidents. There's just something they had in common. Could it be that those demon away have something in common? Oishi-san mumbled as he seemed to think about it. So I summarized the events. First year was the dam employee. Second year was the wife of the dam project supporter. Third year was the wife of the Shinto priest. Fourth year was the victim's family's child. The fifth year was the victim's girlfriend, I guess. Treated as an estrogen supplement. Is there estrogen in plastic? That's a grok question I've ever heard any. Is there estrogen in plastic? No. Wait. Well, technically no, but there's a thing called biphenyl A. Or bisphenol. I don't know, I read that wrong. Bisphenol A. BPA, and it's often described as a synthetic estrogen. That it binds to estrogen receptors and produces estrogen-like effects. Wow. Huh. Transistors boiling plastic bags and only to extract estrogen. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, that's a good one, sir. That's going to my funny friend group. That's going to the friend group that likes that type of humor. Hold on. Hold on. Yep. That's going to that friend group right there. Oh, that's good. I love that. That's a classic. Fourth year was a victim. I already read that. It doesn't seem like there's anything that connects them. With the exception of the first year of wives and girlfriends, those two stand out. It's out on Twitter. That's pretty beautiful. It does seem like there are a lot. And that means the fourth year's victim's child was different. Okay. It would have really stood out if it were all married couples, except it's not just married couples, but parents and children as well. Come to think of it, I believe Tomitake-san also told me the younger brother is alive and has moved, if I recall correctly. Child that went missing in the fourth year. Who were they? Apparently he was quite mature. Is it Satoshi? 1 year older than you. Ah. His name was Satoshi Hojo-san. Yeah, I had a feeling. I see. Huh? Satoshi? I remember that name. Didn't they tell me Satoshi transferred out last year? He was at your school up until last year. Didn't they tell you anything about him? Come to think of it, when I transferred in, I believe they said my seat belonged to a recent transfer student. And where I sat once belonged to the one who was demoned away. It was his seat. I recalled the cold sensation that came from that desk. It made my hair stand on end. This string of mysterious deaths. No, Oyashiro-sama's curse. I now knew how it connected to me. A chilling sensation. It was the feeling of Oyashiro-sama caressing the back of my neck. Oyashiro-sama's curse, huh? Would Oyashiro-sama's curse really exist? In all honesty, I was beginning to believe it. And I was scared. That was why I wanted to say it was a plot crafted by man and not the work of a curse. But the more I dug into it, the less likely that seemed. No, the more I dug, the more mysterious it became. I kept digging, eventually, I reached the point where I learned something I really shouldn't know. Either be none the wiser, or to seek an answer I might regret. Which one would I be happier with? Maybe it'll be me next time. My execution could only be delayed for 1 year. Okay, that's true. That was when I remembered. Rena. Rena says she may be the next victim of this case, of the curse. You mean Rena Ryugu-san? She transferred in last year and she's her classmate, isn't she? This incident really might be a bit too disturbing for a girl. She's not just scared, is she? Wasn't that. She said it might be her next. She said it in a way that made me think she had a concrete reason behind it. I felt like she was convinced. Was this almost if, you could say, she was frightened. Found the pic? Oh boy. Her sudden change in demeanor. There's someone who looked like Rena, but wasn't Rena. That might be unrelated. All the strange things that I felt from Rena today came back to me. I see. I'll be doing a bit of investigation on this end. Please continue your observations of Ryugu-san, Mayabata-san. See, let me see. Wait. Why is Discord pop up? The fuck? It's because I didn't show anything incriminating, did I? No, I didn't. Wait, it still shows up. The fuck? Why is Discord showing up? Oh, that's why. I had a thing for Discord, but why is this? Oh! Yeah, Adinami DMs. I leak DMs. It's just some... I didn't scroll up. I didn't get to the really funny stuff. Imagine if I sing Kunichi, that'd be real Hazuki moment. It would. So I figured out why. Apparently I was streaming Discord. It's just I had Discord minimized. I don't know why that exists right here. I have no reason for this to exist on this scene. Hold on. Let me remove it. Literally no reason for it to exist. There we go. Okay. Are you asking me to keep Rena under surveillance? Why is audio the first thing autocorrect suggests me to type after damn? Bye. Bye. Oops. That's not what I meant, Mayabata-san. I just want you to watch out for your friend so she doesn't end up the next victim. At that moment, just as my mouth was agape because I was so impressed with his mature, clever way with the words. Knock knock. Sudden knock at my door sent my heart racing. In an instant, I had pointlessly covered up the end of the receiver. Eiichi, get the door, please. On the other side of the door, I heard my father's oddly upbeat voice. What could it be? My gaming is good? Oh yeah. Visual novel gaming, am I right? Autocorrect has pattern recognition? Yeah. Oh, it does, actually. So late. Sorry, my dad just came in. Can we leave it at this for tonight? Yeah. My apologies again for calling so late. If you find out anything else, please let me know. I'll tell you if I make any progress on this end. Well then, have a pleasant evening. Eiichi, hurry on and open up. Daddy's got his hands full. What is Dad doing? He has stayed in the same position while on the phone the whole time, so my joints were aching. I know what he means. When I opened the door, I saw my father was standing there with a tray. On that tray, cookies and 2 cups of black tea, a fairly fancy spread for our household. With even sugar and lemon slices on the side. Everything you could ask for. Yay! This is quite the show of hospitality. Well, what's going on, Dad? What's all this for? Come on, don't play around, Keiichi. I'm coming in. Dad was in high spirits and had a smirk on his face. But for my entire life, I've never seen him act this hospitable. What has gone into him? So, what were we talking about? Huh? It's not something I had to keep from my father. But how could I explain to him that I was talking to a detective? I'm assuming he was. This late at night. Nothing much. The friend. I don't mean the phone. She was here, wasn't she? Rena-chan? I had a feeling. When he came in with the cookies, I had a feeling that he thought the girl was over, and there was only one option that popped in my head. What? Huh? He wasn't here. Come now, don't try to keep it from me. Just came over to play. We were chatting away, so I thought I'd bring some tea, but it looks like I just missed her. No idea what Dad was talking about. But a cold sweat dripped down my back. How long were we talking? Ren-chan went upstairs about half after, so it was close to an hour, I guess? What? Saw her come up to the second floor? Yeah, I did. I also told her that your room was the door down the hall up the stairs. And I came into my house about an hour ago. Dad met her at the door and called out to me on the second floor. Probably didn't hear him because I was so focused on my conversation with Oishi-san. Didn't reply, but he knew I was in my room, so he had her come inside. Told her my room was on the second floor. I thanked my dad and went upstairs. And about an hour passed. Passed by my dad, and just as he was bringing up tea, left. Came upstairs, and about an hour passed. Passed my dad and returned home. Then after she came upstairs, till she left, where was Rena? Only a short hallway between my room and the stairs, meaning Rena had for about an hour in the hall. Couldn't have been standing in front of my door all that time. The door to my room wasn't particularly thick. Could easily hear everything being said inside. Oh yeah, these are fucking. This is like a Japanese house. The tatami mat and the paper. What do they use for the walls? I know it's like a type of paper, but what did they actually use? All of the unsettling and unguarded things I spoke to Oishi-san about began rushing through my head. Honey, don't tease him. More importantly, you need to clean up your studio. The mess again. Mom yelled up at Dad from downstairs. Dad left a tray with me and went downstairs with a disappointed chortle. Ibukishi coin. Yeah, Ibukishi coin. So it's obviously, well, you know what ibukum is, right? The Japanese way of saying it is ibushiko, because Ali Clover coined the term ibukum because it's the way of translating ibushiko. At least that's what he says. You can guess what shiko is, based off of ibukum. So ibushi coin. That's what I'm calling them. That's what I'm calling the tokens. Also, do you like the icon for them too? Dad left the tray with me and went downstairs with a disappointed chortle. Only 200 IQ joke? Yeah, exactly. I was big brain there. There's Japanese and English translating Lamau. I want Kevin to see it. He'll like it. Icon is golden. Yeah, literally. It because she's blonde. Yeah. I followed my dad out of the room with my eyes. I looked down at the floor around the doorway where Rena might have stood all that time. Just now, I was talking to Oishi-san. My back turned. Rena was standing a mere 6 feet away. Full time. Ibukum is just a part of this channel. It is. Oh, we get to see him! Ma'am, that's not okay. All that time, this dimly lit doorway. Did she see? Did she hear? She should have just been jerking off. It would have been easier to explain. For what reason? As the steam from the 2 teacups ominously wafted and twisted, the aroma of black tea filled my room. Probably not good. You think that's good? I don't think that. Oh, we got more tips. Oop. Oh, that's an achievement. The achievement's just called lies. Oh, let's look at the new tips. We'll probably do one more chapter then. If we've gotten this far with one chapter, we'll do one more chapter and then we'll be chilling. July 1st, 1982. To Departments 1 through 12. Shibuya Prefectural Police Headquarters. Director General Higurashi. To the Chief Constable and all faculty managers. Regarding cases situated in the Hinamizawa village. Notice. As cases in Shishibone City, Hinamizawa village, have been reported by certain sections of mass media. It has drawn global attention, which is causing serious repercussions for the local residents. This has become a fairly serious situation. Protect the livelihood and prosperity of the residents. The following notice has been issued. 1. Designate the following criminal investigations as classified. Okinomiya Station, 1982, case number X. Hinamizawa Village Housewife Murder, dated June. Okinomiya Station, 1982, case number Hinamizawa Village Student Disappearance, date June. Non-disclosure of information. Okinomiya Station, 1979, case number Hinamizawa Village Site Foreman Murder, date June. Shira Station, 1980, case number Shirakawa Natural Park Falling Incident, date June. Okinomiya Station, 1981, case number Hinamizawa Village Shinto Priest's Wife Disappearance, dated June. Requesting self-restraint from each organization concerning the release of sensitive information. Please seek attached reference materials 1, 2, and 3. Management, Prefectural Police Headquarters. Internal line, Police Affairs Department, I don't like all the censorship with that stuff. I know it's obviously just because, well, first of all, they won't. Well, I actually don't know why they do that in this. It's not that bad. It's just annoying. Just annoying to voice out. Let me save. Okay, so we've done 8 chapters. I believe there's 13 in total. I think I say that every time. No, literally 1984 crime. Very cringe. I don't think it's 1984 yet in the game. I think it is 1983. I think the next year is 1984. So this is... The next crime will be 1984, guys. Literally 1984. Weariness and a headache. Me every day. Not a very nice way to start the day. Yeah, I know. What's wrong? Eichi? You don't look so well. When did you go to sleep? I didn't. It seemed that my mom had noticed my sullen state. Yesterday, I kept on waking up in the middle of the night. Without a doubt, I felt the presence. I felt the presence of someone standing in front of my door. I told myself repeatedly that it was my imagination and forced myself to try and sleep. Except, not being able to stand it, I gathered up my courage and opened the door. Of course, there wasn't anyone there. I think I did this 3 times throughout the night. Or maybe I just didn't remember doing it any more than that. Even though I was able to get to the breakfast table without incident, I still didn't feel at ease. Might be a cold. I only have an appetite. Why? You just seem a little warm. Well, can you make it to school? Technically, I did go to a school, but it was mostly self-study. It wouldn't matter much if I miss a day, would it? It could have been that I hadn't been feeling well for the last few days because I really did have a cold. I took some medicine and got a good day of rest. I might be able to greet everyone with a smile tomorrow. Startled, I looked back and forth between the entrance and the clock. 10 minutes later than when I usually met up with Rena. It was Rena. Rena-chan came to get you. What are you going to do? Are you going to take the day off? Rena was a good girl. She might be somewhat quirky, but she was certainly cute. The lunches she made were delicious, and she always looked out for me. Why should I be so scared of something like that? Because she's sus. It wasn't Rena's fault. It was probably mine. It had to have been my cold. It just had to be. I'll rest. Sorry. And I'll go send her off for you. I'm headed off to the door. I would have to pass by the entrance to get back to my room. I didn't have the nerve to meet with Rina, so I wrapped myself in a blanket on the sofa and closed my eyes. I was so sleep deprived, I quickly fell into a deep slumber. I had only intended to lie down for a bit, but it was almost noon when I woke up. I called out to my parents, but they didn't seem to be around. On the table, I found lunch prepared and a note. Mom and Dad had apparently driven off to somewhere far away. Oh, how convenient. Oh, God. No, don't do this. It likely had to do with Dad's work. This happened every so often, so it wasn't that unusual. They would be back for dinner, but might be a bit late. On the note, it said, "Insurance card is in the cabinet. Take it and go to the hospital." Okay. It was a well-drawn map to the hospital. That's right. I hadn't been there before, so I didn't know exactly where it was. I had a light lunch, though. It really was just leftovers from the morning. And just in case, I went to the hospital. I'm too American to understand going to the hospital for a cold. This does not compute in my American brain. When you have a cold, you just sleep it off, Lamau. Maybe take some fucking, like, whatever, cold medicine. Hospital for a cold, that sounds like a waste of money. Normally, I'd never be here in the middle of a weekday. Just walking around like this had me feeling guilty. It was an odd feeling. Following my mom's map, I took a road I usually never used. After walking for a bit, the hospital sign came into view. Irie Clinic was written... Irei? Wait. Wasn't that girl from this clinic? The one that disappeared? Why is it like this? Why is it like this? This game's actually really good at tying things together. Holy shit, this is good writing. Irie, what does it say? Was written rather stylishly on the sign. Where's the sign? It says enter something, but I don't know this stuff. I don't know. I'm gonna assume it says EDA clinic. EDA. I assume it's pure Japanese. The clinic wasn't very big, but based on the scale of the rest of Hinamizawa, it was far too grand. The parking lot and even a reserved spot for buses. They must be making a mint. I spaced out in the air-conditioned waiting room until it was my turn to be seen. Ayabara-san, please make your way to the examination room. You have AIDS. After half-heartedly answering all the chatty doctor's questions, he responded with the old, "It's probably a cold." He gave me a shot and 3 days worth of medicine. A shot for a cold? What the fuck? Okay. 3 days worth of medicine. That's fair, though. I thought I was a little overboard, but if it would clear away the gloomy feeling I have been having lately, then it was worth it. Hell yeah. It was probably just like fucking steroids. I settled the bill and took a quick trip to the washroom. As I was leaving, I overheard a conversation between some elderly people who seemed to be regulars at the clinic. Of course, I had no intention of eavesdropping, but if it just wasn't for that word, must have been an Onikakushi. I wonder. He was still pretty young. Must have just eloped. Oh, might have just eloped. I see. With whom? That man from Tokyo visits every season. The young one with the big camera. Didn't you know that they were getting along pretty well? Were they talking about Tomitake-san? I could feel my ears perking up. I don't know about that, but you have to make preparations before you elope. Yeah? Leave a note or quit their job or something? An elopement because they didn't leave a note or a message. The thought that I'll never see that young nurse's face again makes me rather sad. Takano-san is an upstanding young woman. Oh, that's her name. She'll be fine wherever she goes. Her name was Takano-san. That woman with Tomitake-san. And she worked at this clinic, yes. Yashiro-sama's shadow was following me wherever I went. I started listening more closely, but they began talking about fishing and it didn't seem like they were going to revisit the topic. I gave up and left. Thus, even though I was separated from the daily monotony of school, I wasn't able to escape from Oyashiro-sama's shadow. But of course, Oyashiro-sama was the guardian deity of this place, Hinamizawa. As long as I was in Hinamizawa, I wouldn't be able to escape. Maybe it was because I was walking outside, but my appetite had suddenly returned. I might as well buy a snack with the change from the examination fee on the way home. Contemplating that, I turned onto a familiar street. At that moment, I heard a car horn abruptly honk behind me. Was I really walking so far into the middle of the road where I'd be in a car's way? I moved farther off to the side, but that horn was still honking at me. I turned around, peeved. Maibara-san, fucking this cop is annoying. Good day to you. It was Oishi-san. He stepped out of his car, AC on full blast, and waved at me. What's up today? School on break? Not feeling well, so I took the day off. I was about to buy lunch and head back home. That's great. It's great. I'm just about to get lunch myself. Would you mind going together? If you're not feeling up for it, then don't mind me. I'm just gonna lie down after going home anyway. I didn't really have a cold. I expect you'd rather avoid using one of the local places. Let's go into town. A bit of a drive, is that alright? A pretty good place. I finally begun to understand Oishi-san's roundabout way of saying things. He probably wanted to talk to me about stuff that would be difficult to discuss while in Hinamizawa. Okay. He's like the least sus, but most sus. Like, he's way too established to be like an actual like scary person here, but he's just like so nosy. But I guess that's his job. But you know, Ren is being kind of creepy. Went with Oishi-san, riding in his frigid car. It was almost as if the bright sunlight outside was a lie. Sorry about calling you so late last night. Did your parents get angry at you? No. I recalled Ren, who had been listening to the phone conversation all that time, separated from me just by the door. By just the door. Even now, the brightness of the sunlight, the thought still creeped me out. The big bump that jolted the car, the road connecting to the city changed from dirt to pavement. I love that feeling, by the way. If any of you have ever driven on a dirt road and then it went to pavement, like after a long time, it is the greatest feeling ever. Oh my god. My head swiveled back with a sudden realization. That's right. This is where Tomitake-san died. Oh. I wouldn't think that, though. They've hit a snag on the investigation regarding Tomitake-san. Oishi-san spoke while peering at me from the corner of his eye. They believed it was caused by hallucinogens, given how he was clawing out his own throat. That's not good. But a drug that could cause that to happen so suddenly? Extremely hard to come by. Especially in Japan. Bear in mind, of course, the autopsy was done with that premise in mind, but we didn't find any leads. You know that thing you see in manga all the time? Where there's a drug that doesn't leave any traces after being consumed? Aha. I know the opposite feeling when you cross the border from Lithuania to Latvia, the road is just destroyed. To be fair, that checks out because I do not know anything about Latvia other than like the city of Riga. But like that's more of like a Hanseatic League type of thing rather than a I don't know what modern Riga looks like now. But I could assume Latvia is quite poorer than Lithuania. Even though Lithuania doesn't seem like, you know, a first world nation. I can assume it's a bit different. Is Estonia the best of the three? It's kind of... No, actually Estonia is not that great, if I recall. Let's look it up. Baltic. Or Baltic. GDP. I'll just do G. Oh, Estonia looks like the worst. Estonia is the most depressing country to ever exist. I see. Yeah, it looks like the worst. Yeah, Lithuania looks like the best. Latvia has like one good... Yeah, Riga. Riga's like the only good city. Yeah, no, this checks out. Heard foreigners can't stand living there. That's crazy. Yeah, it looks like Vilnius is like the best place to live out of anything there. Then it's Riga. And then Arju, which is in Estonia. Everything outside of those cities, or not Harju. That's the county. The city is Tallinn. I don't know. I do not know anything about Estonia. I know Revel though. I know that area. Revel. Oh, the historical name's Revel. Oh, I know what that is. Denmark used to own that for a good chunk of history. Quite interesting. But yeah, I know Vilnius, obviously. How does that look? I'd want to go there. I assume you probably live near there or something. You know that thing you see in manga all the time where the drug doesn't leave a trace after being consumed? It exists. Ah, that's nice. Suck. Susinicol? Something or other. Oh. Well, it's pretty common. I mean, yeah, it makes sense. But you see, there doesn't seem to be any kind of drug that would cause Tomitake-san to react like that. Then you're saying the police concluded Tomitake-san just died from the curse? I couldn't help but feel that the police were worthless. Based? I just wanted the idea of a curse to be disconnected from Tomitake-san's mysterious death. Unfortunately, that's how it looks right now. But putting aside the cause of death, without a doubt, he was surrounded by a group of people and had taken a beating before he died. That was no curse, but an incident that unquestionably involves other humans. That made me a bit relieved. I mean, yeah. Starting to see too many Indian and other brown people. To be fair, I will say, in Japan, I saw way more brown people than I thought. Like Indian. There was way more Indian people than I expected. Like, it was like 1%, but that was a lot. Like, I saw more Indian than white people. That was weird for me. We passed in front of the rather desolate, but still busier than Hinamizawa train station. Car pulled into a restaurant parking lot, and I followed Oi-san into the shop. It was pretty crowded, but there were only adults at this hour. Of course, there wouldn't be children here in the middle of a weekday. You please, I'll make do with non-smoking. This way, please. When you are ready to order, please call me over. We were led by a peculiarly dressed waitress to our table. I saw Oi-san in the booth. So, what do you think? Aren't the waitress outfits here cute? Let me see them. Huh? Well, I guess. Shop is always quite busy. More about the waitresses and the food, you see. Is this guy taking this kid to a maid cafe? Based? Uh-huh. Oi-san. You're leering? The Leering Center. Nah, I'm joking. Hmm? Am I really? I know what he means, though. Based? Yeah. Regardless of how the waitresses looked, the food was decent enough. Decent? That looks pretty... That looks good. Finishing our meals while talking about some insane topic, Oi-san's after-meal cup of coffee arrived at the table. Yesterday, we talked about Hinamizawa's past, didn't we? Yeah, that was the village of man-eating demons or something like that. I didn't know much about it myself, so I asked my mother about it this morning. Oi-san looked out at the notepad that was stuffed into his breast pocket, okay? Turns out that Hinamizawa used to be called Onikakushi, the demon's abyss. That's not great. Onikakushi? Onikakushi? It's quite the name. The name is still around. The swamp where the Shinto priest's wife drowned herself is called Onikakushi. Okay. Oh, I see. So the swamp's called that. It said that the depths of that swamp connect to the realm of demons. That's not good. Of course, nobody had told me about such an ominous swamp. And you see, it appears that they were both feared and revered. A respect born of fear. I guess you could say it was kind of deification. Village of inhuman creatures. Seems the demons were Sennin, or mountain-dwelling mystics of sorts. I know the Nin part is human. This is Sen part. Oishi dies later, doesn't he? He probably does, honestly. Honestly, like, I know, like, the main shtick with this game, and I don't know if you do, so I don't want to spoil it, but, you'll see. Just assume people die. Villagers with incurable illnesses would be taken to Onikakushi to be healed, for example. Okay. Even if we are calling them demons, Tengu, long-nosed goblins. So, I learned a fun fact recently about Tengu. Turns out, the reason the Tengu, the timing of the Tengu myth in Japanese folklore came around, coincidentally, occurred at the same time the first Jewish missionaries, I don't know what to call them, came to Japan historically. I would look into the myth of Tengu in Japan and look at the similarities, and you'll notice quite an interesting pattern. Let's just say that. Boy, maybe just a coincidence? Yeah. I learned that recently, and I thought, huh, interesting. Ignore this part right here. Or seinen would be a more apt description. Seinen. They don't seem like such terrible people, even though they were called demons. I see. The Goyim have learned. But there were still many demons. Sir, they call it jerky? According to the story my mother told me, as payment for treating the son's illness, let us eat the mother who brought him here, was apparently how things went. I see. Price of curing a son was herself, kind of based, but also fucked up. That's unsettling. First, the mother took her son and ran. Oh. You know what? Secret third option. Then you see all the villagers of Onikakushi, the demons, chase, surrounded and captured them. Okay. Entire village, apparently. That's quite a frightening thing to imagine. In the end, it seems both the mother and son were caught and eaten. The end. There's a problem with this story. Both witnesses in the story were eaten, so nobody would be able to tell the tale. Huh? There are plenty of old fables like this. In contrast to the ghastly tale, Oishi-san laughed heartily while sipping his coffee. But, well, there are quite a few other tales, where the demons from Onikakushi band together to capture their prey. I recalled that Mion said that all the villagers united and fought against the dam construction. I saw similarities with how that part of about unification overlapped. The demons told the tale, and they walk Mogus? They would always be hunted down. They would always hunt down a single person, and they choose who it was going to be beforehand. Huh? That caught my attention. Oishi-san also appeared to be pondering what it meant. My mother told me that you must never interfere with the demon's hunt. You should just hole up in your house and hide under the covers, she said. What does this all mean? It means you must never help or protect the prey. As long as you don't disturb the demon's hunt, no harm will fall upon the villagers. Oh. Seems there's that kind of rule. Basically, don't help the victims. Yay! Pretend you didn't see the atrocities, in other words. What happens if you break the rule? Well, many demons after all. Many parts of that tale caught my attention. Parts of the story he told me overlapped with this theory that the entire village was in on the crime. Even if it wasn't the whole village, it was conceivable that the villagers were hiding under the covers and leaving them to die when there was a group that was on their hunt, wasn't it? I didn't dare speak it. And Oishi-san? I guess it looks like it's either the entire village or a group of villagers perpetrating the crimes. Doesn't happen, they deserve. What do you think, Maibara-san? Ah, excuse me. Another cup of coffee, please. That's what I wanted to know. It seemed that we were both waiting for the other to say that last part. He waited for the waitress to finish pouring coffee before speaking. Last year, I had a nagging feeling when Satoshi-kun disappeared. Oishi-san muttered as he watched the milk swirl around his coffee. So those friends of Satoshi-san, meaning your group of friends, Maibara-san, I had a bit, really, just a little bit, okay, of background checking done on them. Oh boy! If Oishi-san had said this to me before, I would have gotten angry at him for calling my friends into question. But as I was now, I couldn't. I sound pretty stupid. Maibara-san, if you feel that it's stupid, please say so. I'll just stop. Oishi-san was wearing the most serious expression that I'd ever seen from him. It was as if he was telling me to prepare for myself and listen. Oh boy, lore time, guys, lore time. There were quite a few things I regretted hearing from Oishi-san, but none of them were as threatening as this. A little voice inside me was screaming like an alarm. Stop, Keiichi. Probably the last one. Take a deep breath and silence that voice. I would not run from the truth. Please. That was all I could utter. Oishi-san stared into my eyes silently for a few moments. After he was certain I was ready, he began. Hola, compadre. Sadly, I do not speak Spanish. I do have some Spanish speakers. Maybe somewhere in chat. Is Ineta still here? I don't think Ineta is still here. But if he is still here, he can translate. Well, to be fair, your name is Hombre Morado. So maybe you do only speak Spanish. The victim of the incident in the first year was the overseer. A few weeks prior, he had an altercation with Mion Sonozaki. Okay. Multiple altercations. Okay. Oishi-san had said before that Mion had defied the dam project vehemently. Oh yeah, Hasukita is also... He lurking. But yeah, he also knows. He's not lurking, goddammit. He was lurking last time, that was funny. Oishi-san had said before that Mion had defied the dam project vehemently. Well, it wasn't hard to imagine how she'd be if she got worked up. The second year, the married couple who supported the project died in that accident, right? Their daughter was with them at that time. Her name was Satoko Hojo-san. Oh. I just processed that. Hold on. Click on the community button. You can see what the user's watching. No, I know. Yeah, I know that. Tried to call him out last time and then he disappeared as I was down. Oh! He secretly watches. He's secretly a big fan, guys. That's why he's not followed or... Actually, I don't know if he's subscribed on YouTube. Maybe he is. I don't think he is, though. Satoko moment. Huh? Satoko meaning Satoko? Oishi-san, Oishi-san looks told me that my voice was too loud. I realized it as well and quickly quieted down. Shinto priest and his wife who died in the third year, you see. Their daughter is Rika Furude-san. They're both orphan kids? Wait, where do they live? He was learning Lunaclear from you? Was he really? Well, he did a different Luna. He did the Fubuki one using Pizza's, his account, right? Because Pizza had the better thing. Rika lore, yep. Rika-chan was? The housewife who died in the fourth year, you know already, don't you? It was the step-aunt of Satoko Hojo-san. Oh. He was? Wait, really? It's kind of nice and silly. She was in her aunt and uncle's custody as she had lost both her parents in the accident. Unlucky. She lived in the victim's house. Now my lips were getting dry. I didn't even have the wits to keep my mouth from hanging agape. I thought it was nothing but a bizarre accident, one that I could easily distance myself from. But clicking and clacking, it had snuck all the way to my feet. The one who disappeared the 4th year, by the way, he was Satoko-san's older brother. Yeah. What? Wait, just a second. Took everything I had to finally say that. I gulped down a glass of water and once again wiped my face with a napkin. Calm down, Keiichi Maebara. Oishi-san was relentless. Instead of waiting for me to finish sorting out my feelings, he started speaking again. Last of the things I shouldn't have heard. All the victims seem to be connected to your group of friends. That's not good. What about Rena? That has to be just a coincidence. Oh, is that why Rena was concerned that she would be a victim? Is because she's connected to them? Maebara-san, keep it down. Everyone's looking. Yon? Satoko? Rika-chan? What if they're all connected? You tell me all of my friends? Couldn't be, just couldn't be. Oh, Rena's different, isn't she? Yeah. Rena isn't connected with the victims at all. Rena Ryugu is living in a suburb of Ibaraki Prefecture until last year. Where's Ibaraki? You want to know where Ibaraki is? Oh, okay. So it's like in Satake. Okay. I can't use those references. It's north of Tokyo. Like northeast of Tokyo. I just know what the daimyo of that was during the Sengoku Jidai, and that was Satake. Rena Yoga was living in the suburb of Ibaraki Prefecture up until last year. Well, it's true she hadn't directly met any of the victims. He said it in a roundabout way. He's saying she's also connected? Actually, I looked into her. Before Ryugu-san moved away from Hinamizawa, she was suspended from school. It seems she went through her school building and broke all the windows. I see. Rena did that? She broke all the windows at her school? That same spacey Rena had? I couldn't even imagine it. It seems that after her 3-day suspension, she didn't return to school. She went to a neurologist and was diagnosed with dysautonomia. She was given weeks of counseling and medication. She does have a mental illness. Okay, what is this one? I don't know this flavor of mental ill. Dysautonomia. What is this? Okay. It's basically like a... It just affects the functioning of certain organs. Is it worse than BPD? It might be. Basically, you know how like a ton of your organs are like on... what's it called? They're like fully autonomous. This basically fucks with that. Okay. Okay. Just affects like organ function, it looks like. Like, mostly like immune, or a good way to put it. Like your body's natural systems. I don't know. I don't know how it affects her violently. I wonder if it was something like a nervous breakdown. I heard that it happens to people who are already methodical or overly sensitive. Sir, are you slouching? Yeah, that's why I raised my camera a bit. I'm slouching pretty hard. Neither of those matched Rena's easygoing personality. And in the counselor's medical report, she recorded all of the conversations he had with Rena-san. It shows up. What's it? And quite a bit of that. Quite a bit of that. Wait, what? What did? Press forward carelessly. There couldn't be anything more for me to regret. She mentioned the word Oyashiro-sama. But this was before he came. Felt like someone's stone cold hand was caressing my back. My bad. Why had Rena spoken of Oyashiro-sama before even coming to Hinamizawa? That's my thought. Seems that the Oyashiro-sama she spoke was like a ghost appearing in her house every night. Schizophrenia! Standing over her pillow looking down at her. That's not great. My mind froze. I could process what I was being told. While after that, she moved to Hinamizawa. How convenient. Ah, that's right. She's not an outsider. Huh? According to the residency register, the Ryugu family used to reside in Hinamizawa. That also checks out then. They moved to Ibaraki just as Rena-san entered elementary school. Okay. My mind went completely blank. It was similar to the static you'd see on a blank TV channel. My ears began ringing as I lost all sense of comprehension. Ayabata-san, are you alright? Shall we stop? Those words brought me back. I couldn't let it end here. Now I know about Rena. How about the last victim, Tomitake-san? Yeah, that's true. Who is he connected with? He was connected with the friend group. For that day. Irritated, I let out one final reprisal. All of them. Have you forgotten my Ayabata-san? Didn't you all spend the night on the festival together quite merrily? Yeah. But a few of the officers saw you enjoying yourselves. Now there was nothing we could respond with. Nothing I could respond with. Fell silent as my brain turned to mush. To get going. Ah, my Ayabata-san. Did you take your afternoon medicine? Did you take your meds after all that? You need to take your meds. I had completely forgotten about the medicine I had gotten today until Oishi-san said that. Got another glass of water, and we left the shop after I chugged it down. Why does he look like Dr. Oak from Pokemon? He kinda does. We got in the car and returned to Hinamizawa via the rough road. Never really paid attention when I was on my bike, but did cars normally shake this much? On rough roads, yeah, but bikes do too. It's almost as if the road was desperately trying to tell me something. But a big jolt was from the difference in elevation of the road when it changed from cement to dirt. It was certain that I heard Tomitake-san scream, oh. Oh. I sat in silence, just letting myself be shaken by the car. I'll drop you off at your house. You missed school because you were ill, correct? My apologies for the long conversation. Why did you talk to me? I blurted out the question. Really just blurted it out. I didn't expect an answer. I did check with you first, didn't I? You should just stop. Not that. Why did you reach out to me? I understood why quite well that Oishi-san was investigating this string of suspicious incidents. Why was he telling me all this? I knew nothing. I couldn't help. Everything Oishi-san spoke of was news to me. First of all, what could I, having just moved here, possibly know? By chance, if there was a reason for Oishi-san to reach out to me, then it would have to be that was part of my own circle of friends who looked suspicious to Oishi-san. Yeah. I'm retiring this year. I plan on moving away after retiring as my mother wants. Oh. So, while I'm still on the case, I want to bring the truth behind this incident to light. So, Oishi-san, you suspect them, don't you? Based edits guy on Twitter. These people are the target audience. Ari and Yakub. Oh, man. You suspect them, don't you? All of them? Oishi-san didn't really give a response. Felt a little late, but I thought it was his way of showing a bit of consideration for my feelings. This is mostly my intuition from 30 years on this job. Ayabata-san, you're the one in danger. Huh? I wanted to reply with, that's absurd, but in my downtrodden state, I couldn't bring myself to say it. I'll be retiring this year, so I won't be at the Watanagashi next year. So I want to settle things. In other words, he was insinuating that on the next Watanagashi, I might be the victim. I've been warned by the chief as well. Each incident in the string of cases has been solved, so don't bring it up again, or so I was told. This is the pressure that I'm facing. Pressure? From what? Someone in Hinamizawa. We've arrived. Is this fine? After some time, the car finally reached the path to my house. The clock read 2 p.m. I need to sneeze. Hold on. Just one? It's usually never just one. It's just one. I was surprised so little time had passed since we ate. It was hot outside the car. Chirping of the Higurashi hurt my ears. I won't mind if you just forgot everything I told you today. But I'm still going to keep investigating. I'll end Oyashiro-sama's curse this year. So you're saying I should contact you if anything happens? It's fine. Just contact me when you feel you have to, Mayabata-san. I wasn't collected enough to understand Oishi-san's roundabout way of saying it. Be sure to take it easy. I'm sorry for throwing all this at you while you're taking the day off because you're sick. I didn't really give any sort of response. I'll always be on your side. If anything, believe that. I'll be off now. Tires crunched over the dirt road as the car made a U-turn and disappeared into a cloud of kicked-up dust. Felt as if I was watching a boat only throw me a lifesaver in a shark-infested waters before disappearing into the distance. That was the first time I thought Oishi-san was being unfair. Telling me I was going to be the next victim, then just saying to contact him if something happened. This wasn't a criminal investigation. He was fishing. I never thought about it like that, but he's kind of right. Now it's just the bait dangling off the line. Would the fish be the perpetrator? Or was it really just Oyashiro-sama's curse? Either way, the bait would be swallowed whole. Damn it, I don't want to die. Kinitakunai. For some time, I could do nothing but stare at the puddle of water left behind by the AC from the car. Okay. I wonder how much time had passed since I laid down. It was getting dark outside. My body was soaked in sweat. It would probably be a good idea to change my sheets. That moment, the phone from downstairs rang. Oh, I hope it's someone normal. It was probably Mom. Almost quite the worrywart. Maybe she had called many times, but I just didn't notice it. Hello, this is the Mayabata residence. Oh, he's alive. Hello. This is Mion. How are you doing? Is this one of Keiichi's friends? Keiichi's resting now, but gotta I put him on? Huh? Is this his dad? Haha, sorry. Idiot. You fell for it. Dumb bitch. Huh? Kei-chan! After our exchange, we both had a good laugh at each other. Except I was suspicious of her, even as we were laughing. Ah, nice. Is everybody really involved in the incidents? The fact that I couldn't say no saddened me. Relieved that you seem well. Ren was really worried, you know. John was happy and said you got what you deserved. Rika-chan said how unfortunate he's sick. And it looks like everyone was making a big deal out of it. Well, you know, Kei-chan, it's now a bad time to come pay you a visit. Is it? No, it's okay. It's not like I'm dying. My grandma made a ton of mochi, you see. Ooh. I was told to share them. So I'll bring you some. Hey now, you'll catch my cold. Not to worry. Both Ren and I are too stupid to catch a cold. I believe you. I believe it. Yeah. Be there in a bit. He hung up cheerfully. Ren is coming too? 2 women. That's what it sounded like. I was still concerned about meeting Rena, but I guess if she was with Mion. I heard the doorbell 10 minutes later. Hello. How are you feeling? Did you take your medicine and rest? I did just that. But thank goodness you look well. I was worried. Sorry, I'll be fine by tomorrow. Leon showed a complete lack of concern for someone who's recovering, and Rena looked like she was worried about me from the bottom of her heart. You don't like summer? I like summer, actually. But to be fair, you live in an area where summer is a living hell, so that's understandable. It didn't look like there was anything behind those expressions. I thought we might hang out for a bit, but it looks like you're not quite in the condition for it. You don't say. I see my face appeared a bit sullen. Then here, Keiichi-kun. These are the Mochi-mi-chan's grandma made. Rena had out a package wrapped in newspaper. There might be about 5 in here. It was quite hefty. Ah, thanks. Send my regards to Grandma Mio. Yep. Ah, there's one that I made in there as well. I wonder if Keiichi-kun can guess which one. I remember this. I remember this. I remember this. No, why do I remember this from the anime? Oh no. Oh no. This is Kei-chan's homework since he missed the club meeting today. There are letters in each mochi, so I'll ask you tomorrow. Were you checking if I was feeling better, or did you just come here for club activities? Yep, looking fine. Yes, you'll be able to make it tomorrow. I hate having a good memory. I remember exactly. Ooh. Man, what are you gonna do if my fever comes back because of your shenanigans? But Mi-chan, we shouldn't be making such a racket. Go. The other people here will get angry. Both of them thought my parents were home. It was because the entranceway was a mess. You're right, let's get going. Ah, by the way, Kei-chan. Ah? What did you eat for lunch? Pizza? Sudden question startled me and I went wide-eyed when I saw Vion. I'd never seen her like that. It was a highly unsettling visage. Why is she asking me about what I ate for lunch? What she said was so inane, it was almost meaningless. The way she said it, it was almost like she didn't even care at all about what I ate. I ate out your mom. You must have suspected that I was with Oishi-san. Anyway, I felt that if I hesitated or tried to change the subject, then they'd read too deep into it, so I tried to answer it as quickly as possible. But contrary to the effort I had made, there was a pause before they replied. So you ate out for lunch, Keiichi-kun? Yeah. Glimmer Furuna's eyes had changed at some point as well. Now sharp, as if to make me feel a feigned ignorance behind her words even more. As if she already knew that's how it looked to me. Was it good? Yeah. Why are you asking me this? Yin was speaking in an unusually low tone. As if he knew that I'd eaten at the restaurant in town. Oh, I'm overthinking this. I mean, both of them should have been in school at lunchtime. No way they could have known where I was. Seems you were with a rather austere-looking older guy. Who was he? My dad. Package with the mochi I was holding slipped out of my hands. I could tell the blood had drained from my face, making me go pale. Oh? Ichi-kun, who was he? Could it be the person from before, I wonder? I could feel the back of my throat going dry. No longer a bluff. They knew everything? How do you know that? Took everything I had to finally force those words from my throat. My knees were shaking. Because nothing this old man doesn't know. Mion sneered knowingly, and her laugh seemed to carry on forever. So, Kei-chan? You talk about? Seems like you got pretty worked up over it too. We weren't talking about you guys. We weren't talking about you! It didn't have anything to do with you or Rena. Not a bit strange to hear our names come up, even though nobody asked about that. Rena's unwavering gaze pierced through my eyes and peered further inside me. I dug my own grave. My heart was throbbing so much it felt like it was going to explode. Well, whatever you're trying to hide, this old man already sees through it all. Remember that. I couldn't even shake my head. It took everything I had to stop my teeth from chattering. She never let her gaze break from mine, even as she tilted her head silently. Eiji-kun, you don't look so good. I think you should lie down. That's true. We should both head back home. As if nothing had happened, they both giggled at each other and started making their way out. Okay. I hadn't moved a muscle since I had dropped the package of mochi. As they left, the door slowly closed behind them. All I could do was stare. As if I couldn't move until the door was completely closed. Since the door was just about to close, it opened again slightly with a sudden creak, sending my heart racing once again. Single eye peered in through that narrow slit, and Mion's hawkish gaze peered at me once again. I'm still home. See you, Kate-chan. Yeah. Yeah. I'd hate it if you missed school tomorrow. Alright? The door closed. I wasn't able to move a muscle even after their low laughter died off into the distance and silence once again enveloped the room. Coming back to my senses, the first thing I did was lock the door. Yeah. I knew what Oishi-san and I talked about. Why? Ow. No, that wasn't important. Thinking about it now, all of it could have been overheard from the beginning when Oishi-san met me. Just as Mion said, I couldn't hide anything. And what were they trying to tell me? That part was obvious. They were warning me not to say anything unnecessary. What did they deem unnecessary? I only talked with Oishi-san about one thing. They were warning me that that was unnecessary? What was it that Oishi-san talked to me about? The incidents involving Oyashiro-sama's curse that occurred every year weren't individual cases, but were connected as a whole, as well as the fact that there may be multiple perpetrators hidden within Hinamizawa. More precisely, that Mion, Rena, Satoko, and Rika-chan were all suspicious. Is that what they were warning me against? What kind of nonsense am I thinking about? I hit my own face hard enough to let out a loud snap. Only that would wake me up from this nightmare. But for some reason, I felt like I was punching a blanket. It was almost laughably painless. It's the meds. Calm down, Keiichi Maebara. When did I become such a pessimist? Calm down, calm down. Settle down and sort things out. The reason Mion knew I was eating lunch with Oishi-san was probably because somebody from Hinamizawa just happened to be there at the time. They must have told Mion that I was there. It made the most sense. Let's come to think of it, she didn't ask me where I ate lunch, did she? Feeling asked, was it good? They were just curious since I was together with someone not from Hinamizawa. It's not as if they had any ulterior motives. That's it. That has to be it. Think about it that way. It was the same with Rena. Just being strangely ambiguous about when I met with Oishi-san, and Rena was just correcting me on that. That's when I was bewildered by the change in character from the usual mild-mannered Rena, and was just startled by it. That's the most natural way of thinking about it. Felt like my mind was mixed up in like a tangled mess of spaghetti. Deep red marinara sauce would have poured out of my nose and ears if you squeezed my head. That's the metaphor. Thinking that, I suddenly felt like vomiting. I really didn't want that to happen, so I stopped holding my head. Lately, I had no idea what anyone was saying. Spending time with them was fun. I didn't feel like there was any sort of hidden agenda. I really do think that they're a good bunch of people. When I just moved here and I couldn't make heads or tails of anything, they were really kind to me. Rena was really kind and always looked after me. As long as that strange affliction didn't rear its ugly head, he was really pretty cute. Mion is also a really good person. She didn't care about anyone's age or gender, and was optimistic and outgoing. I was never bored when I was with her. And talking of not getting bored, Rambunctious Satoko was a good person for that too. She was pretty bratty. Well, that was just the way she interacted with others. Rika-chan was the same way. She didn't speak often, but that didn't mean she was always silent. They're my friends. But after hearing of the better untold secrets of Hinamizawa from Oishi-san and Tomitake-san, when I was told about Oyashiro-sama's curse, things started going crazy. Then hearing from Oishi-san that Mion, Rena, and Satoko and Rika-chan were all suspicious. After that, everyone changed. Right. I started getting weird after Oishi-san told me all that strange stuff. That time, I really should have just not listened to those weird stories. Shouldn't even have asked Tomitake-san about the past incidents on the night of the Watanagashi. I had just gotten that strange sense of curiosity. If I hadn't gotten that strange sense of curiosity, I just hadn't. That's right. That's why they killed Tomitake-san. I don't know why it's censored killed. Wait, what? Could be fucked, but I doubt it. That impudent outsider speaking to the likes of me after everybody went out of their way to keep it a secret from me. They'll probably fuck Oishi-san as well. Horrible time to censor 4-letter words. We're trying to unearth what everybody was warning me was better left behind. Or better left buried. Besides that, it was unforgivable for spewing words that made me doubt the others. Of course, a guy like that is gonna be fucked. Both Tomitake-san and Oishi-san were nothing but outsiders after all. They all were entities who couldn't coexist with the people of Hinamizawa. Those guys should just fall to Oyashiro-sama's curse and just... Oh, it's a 3-letter word. YouTube level censorship? Yeah, what's a 3-letter word? Oh, I think it's supposed to be die. Well, what's a 3-letter word I can use? I can't... There's no good 3-letter word. Damn. It wasn't their fault. It was my fault for not being able to hold back my curiosity. It wasn't their fault. It wasn't their fault. Yeah. It wasn't their fault, it wasn't their fault, it wasn't their fault, it wasn't their fault. Suck. Why is this game censored in the first place? So, this mod translated based off the original Japanese that came out in 2002. And very likely that original Japanese censors the word death because that's actually a really common censorship in Japan. Funnily enough. So it's likely true to the original, and that's the problem. Just for the words like die and death, because that's commonly censored. You can hear it. You can also, it's funnily enough also censored in the song like King by Kanadia, I believe. The Vocaloid song. Death is also censored in that song. It's kind of weird. Rock, I need a 3-letter slurs. What's the eigenvector of a slur? Have you seen that short? You know, that's a short I need to send you, Arinami. The eigenvector of a slur. I settled into a daze. No way they said Jew. Jew would be a good one there. Wait, what was the context? Of course, a guy like that was gonna... No, not that one. Those guys should just follow the Oyashiro-sama's curse and just the Jew. Nah, that doesn't make sense, sadly. That would work, though. I settled into a daze. It was a lethargic feeling like I had gotten up, but the ominous chill that haunted me had subsided. I was fine now. I was no longer frightened. I had completely recovered. I'll go to school tomorrow, right as rain. I'll greet everyone. I'll take part in club activities. It'll definitely be fun. Had to be fun. I was one of them after all. Oh, that reminds me, I need to eat those mochi. I hope I'm able to tell which one Rena made. I remember the homework the two brought with them when they visited me. Wow, our club did delivery? That was something else. I picked up the package and I dropped to the floor and headed into the living room. It would be nice, I guess, to have some tea with it. I filled my mouth with mochi while drinking tea. Oh, this is quite a delectable situation I was in. Opening up the newspaper wrapping, there was 5 plump red bean paste mochi fit snugly inside. I actually don't like red bean paste. I don't like it. There were letters written from left to right on the newspaper. A, B, C, D, E. Now then, they said Rena-chan made one of these. I wonder which one. There wasn't much difference in how they looked. They smelled and appeared about the same. It was a pretty difficult problem. Biggest difference was probably their shape. I wasn't sure what kind of person Mion's grandma was, but Rena had to be different from hers. Rena's had to be different. Looking carefully, I could see one mochi that was made very neatly. So well that, just by staring at it, one could tell it stood out. Looks like this challenge depends on whether or not this one is Rena's. Calm down and think even harder. Mion had said her grandma made a ton of them and was told to give some out, if I remember correctly. That meant 4 of these were from that large batch. And what about Rena? She probably only made 1. So she probably spent quite a bit of time on it. Meaning the one that Rena had made was this one, E. For a moment I thought it may have been a trap Mion laid out, as she knew I'd pick it up on it. But that probably wasn't the case. I wouldn't be so sure if Mion had made it, but since she said Rena made it, it probably wasn't a trap. Alright. My tea is ready too. I'll start with the defending champ, Mion's grandma. Let's see. Not bad. Smooth bean paste and soft chewy texture left little to be desired. The I drink afterwards also accentuated the experience. This was an exquisite piece of work. Now, how about Rena's? The creation was so delicate, one would think it was a high-class Japanese dessert. Since I normally had quite the appetite, I was slightly worried about the size of the portion. Oh well, first bite. This is quite a difficult one to judge, actually. The ingredients were exactly the same so there was a little difference in the flavor. What was different was how it was shaped at the end, so it was to be expected. The deciding factor would be presentation and volume. Well-formed and well-sized champion versus Rena the challenger, with a size you just couldn't get enough of. I'd only had 1 bite of Rena's. I would probably have to wait until after I was done eating to make my decision. Maybe there's something hidden inside that could cause an upset. See, my prediction was right. My tongue touched something. Didn't feel like something edible, so I reached in my fingers and grabbed it. What? What was this? Before I could fully comprehend what it was, I threw away the rest of the mochi I was eating as fast as I could. It slammed against the wall, causing the bean jam to splatter. And after sticking for a moment, it slid down to the floor. I was dumbstruck by my own actions. What was I doing? When I had gone out of her way to make it for me, how could I? Dumbstruck, I looked down at the hand that performed such a vile act that I remember what I had taken out of my mouth. First, I thought it was a hair. Even though it was shorter than Mion's, Rena's hair was still quite long. And it wasn't this short. It was also a bit too hard to be a hair. It was thick enough to roll around on my tongue. There was a bit of metallic sheen on one end of it. Ah yes, there was a hole for where the thread goes through, like it was a sewing needle. Yes, that's right. Looked very much like a sewing needle. Exactly like one. The end was pointed as well. Quite sharply. Have I seen this? Iron-rich mochi. Okay, hold on. It really did just look like a sewing needle. Huh? What did I mean by looked very much like a sewing needle a bit ago? Got an answer. But a voice inside me already knew. It let me know by chattering my molars together. I couldn't stave off the terror welling up inside me. Suddenly I tasted something metallic and felt a prickling pain at the back of my throat. I stuck my finger in the back of my mouth and felt around to see if I was bleeding. Suddenly, I felt the urge to vomit. Sharp taste and bile irritated the back of my throat. I clasped both hands over my mouth, and after writhing in agony, I was somehow able to hold back the nausea. I was finally able to breathe normally again, but this time my heart was throbbing intensely, and it finally registered. Exactly what was mixed in with the mochi. Before I could think of the correct word, my hands were already on the move. Splat! Plop! Sport! Tossed the rest of the mochi against the wall. Geometrical patterns of the scattered bean jam on the wall suddenly evoked a terrible omen in my mind. After looking away, I dashed out to the hall and flew upstairs to my room, where I stayed under the covers until morning. I clutched my own shoulders, howling madly in a mix of fear, anger, sadness, and frustration. It wasn't a threat or warning or reminder, nothing as simple as that. What had happened in Hinamizawa? What is happening in Hinamizawa? What would happen? I didn't know the answer to any of those questions. Where did I break taboo? Regardless, now Rena and Mion and others, they consider me an enemy. And they thought I should just die. Which led you kill me, not for such a pointless reason. I fell into a restless sleep as I was crushed by my negative emotions. It was as if I was being drawn into a billowing, bottomless swamp. Yummy. Wow. Yeah. That would be that's an interesting fear to have. Honestly, that a drug that makes you kill yourself. Correct. That is the most diabolical achievement name I've ever seen. I need to see that again. Enjoy a homemade snack. It's called Hard to Swallow. Alright, we're gonna do these 2 tips, and then we'll be done for today. Tomorrow we may do the same thing, very likely. Unless you have better ideas, in which case, yeah. What's a drug that makes you commit suicide? I would like to know. No particular reason, but I would like to know. Let's cut to the chase. Is there a drug that causes someone to kill themselves? Not directly, no. Okay. That's quite a roundabout response. You mean that there's one that does it indirectly? Possible to induce a suicidal mental state, is what I mean. Yeah, you watch fucking, I don't know. What? You play Genshin Impact. There we go. That's the joke. Hard to say. What would a suicidal mental state be? Oh, I know. Like a person with a serious bipolar disorder? It depends. It's believed that people are most likely to attempt suicide when swinging from depression to mania. That's true. Yeah. Clinical depression and bipolar disorder are different. Clinical depression indicates a prolonged state of depression, whereas bipolar disorder is characterized by a passive depressed state accompanied by a very active manic state. I see. Individuals with clinical depression suffer from low self-esteem and are quite pessimistic, but rarely commit suicide. Well, they do in their own depressing way. They just stop eating, stop going places. They just lay down and don't move. They don't have the willpower to commit to suicide. Yeah, but they don't have the willpower to eat. So that's how it happens. Nor does mania on its own lead to suicide. It just has the opposite effect, filling the person with confidence and making them feel as though they're walking on air. Thus, they do not commit suicide. That's interesting. And neither state causes suicide, but when the condition changes, they might do so. There's a desire to commit suicide when in a state of depression, but they do not have the willpower to commit suicide, such a formidable act. But when they enter mania, they gain a burst of willpower and their body moves as they desire. They just don't feel like doing anything? Yeah. I see. So it means they gain willpower to commit suicide. That's how it goes. That's why patients are given sedatives during that time to keep them from acting on their impulses. Then was Tomitake bipolar? People who suffer from bipolar disorder generally commit suicide by more civilized means. Like, say, hanging or jumping off a building. Yeah. Self-harm is, as though going through withdrawal is completely different. Tomitake's death wasn't civilized, you think? Though one would think it was caused by some foreign substance. As I said from the start, tell me of a drug that causes someone to commit suicide. There are reports that methamphetamine overdoses produce a condition that resembles bipolar disorder. It's a stimulant. Pretty accurate, I saw myself. Yeah, I know. That, sadly, I understand this well, too. Barbiturate overdoses are also reported to cause erratic behavior. That's a sleep aid. Oh, I didn't know that. That's the first new information I've gotten. There were no signs of stimulants. Okay, that's interesting. Are there any other possibilities? This is why I'm glad caffeine is so benign. All I can think of is that it's some sort of illness. Something like Graves' disease, which affects the thyroid and is known to cause symptoms that resemble bipolar disorder. But Graves' disease has many characteristic symptoms on its own. The deceased exhibited none of them. Okay. I wonder if there's something that could happen more spontaneously. Something that fits this case and would cause someone to want to commit suicide all of a sudden. Are you familiar with organic mental disorders? In short, it's a condition where the brain is out of whack due to physical injury or illness. Huh. It can be caused by drugs, but it can also be caused by physical trauma, encephalitis, a stroke, or even tumors. Are you saying he was hit in the head a funny way and therefore he wanted to kill himself? Damn. Basically, even without a drug, one can succumb to an irregular mental state. The deceased was surrounded after being chased, and his life was in danger, right? All that stress could have messed with his brain chemistry, and he could have hit his head, and those factors combined might have caused him to mutilate himself. The possibility. Could you explain it to me in simpler terms? Wow. Basically, he knocked his noggin in the brawl, and that made him go haywire. Yeah. Yeah. Guess this means the assailants didn't have any intent to kill. Brain damage, like my dog. What? They smacked him hoping to nick some change, and just happened to hit a bad place. Two plump men laughed hoarsely. Sir, you're laughing about a guy who clawed out his throat. Are you sure? But of course it's not like that. Uh-huh. Undoubtedly. Whether it was a habitual drug use or something mental, the deceased background holds the key. How's your investigation going? Oh my goodness, look at the time. I need to get back sooner. Kuma-chan will get angry with me. Who's Kuma-chan? Bear? Yeah, good luck. Best wishes. Are you calling your wife a bear? Best wishes. Or is that her name? My dog hit his head and says that he doesn't act like a normal dog. In a good or bad way? Red. Hmm? Those guys just now? Kuma guy? Oh. Is this Kuma? They had national diet badges. Oh, that's important, right? And it's prefectural assembly member Sonozaki and city councilor Sonozaki. Okay. Wait, isn't that Mion's last name? He acts like a baby. Ah, that's interesting. The prefectural assembly member and city councilor are related. It's dirty, is what it is. Shouting out each other's name during elections. Yeah. Well, one is up for election, the other one holds an assembly, and they double up their campaign activities. Blatantly. I don't know much about this stuff, but isn't that against the rules of the election? As long as they have no prior consultation, there are no restrictions on their political activities. Kuma-chan, the second investigation division is going to be pretty tough for you. Should at least brush up on election laws. I'm not cut out to handle intellectual crime. Because I'm dumb. Amazing discoveries happen in BA. I will see this. That's an interesting name, by the way. What is that link? But also, no, like the link name, not... Wait. Oh, the tail. Yeah, I saw the tail already. But what's that link that you said? Beep beep boop boo dum dum Twitter x.org. What? Why is that a thing? Beep beep boop boo dum dum. I love that. Doesn't even react when bugs sting him, so it's hard to know when he's infected. That's something, alright. There's prefectural assembly member Sonozaki and city councilor Sonozaki. Average audience on main link, yeah. Also the mayor of Hinamizawa. So they're all influenced by the Sonozaki family. What crap. Looks like they were seen off by the deputy chief and the department chief. It came to me. That night when the department chief invited me along to get some oden, I thought that was it. You have a lot of connections, so you might have heard something. Have you? Nope, not a thing. Ma'am, I'll take a tofu fritter and a fish cake. What the fuck? The counselor stormed in on the police chief in a rage. What? Oh my, is that so? Ma'am, I'll take another bowl. Prefectural Assembly member Sonozaki and City Councilor Sonozaki were both intimidating. Link has been around for a while. It's the first time I've seen it, and I love it. I love it already. Our snot-nosed career police chief couldn't handle being yelled at by them. They're like Yakuza. The issue with your name came up regarding how the investigation of the Hinamizawa incident is being handled. Goodness me, I've not the faintest. No need to play dumb. You're reopening the past cases regarding Hinamizawa, aren't you? Nah. I've already got my hands full with Tomitake's death. Nah. Really? I hope so, for your sake. There was a period of silence. While we were silent, we made headway on our food and drink. Ooh, that was quite the feast. This month has been a bunch of losses for me, so my wallet was feeling the pinch. Much appreciated. Nah, it's nothing. Tell me a good horse again. Oh yeah, does he bet? I'll bet on the same one as you. Nah, I haven't been doing well there lately. I haven't been able to read horses at all. Taxi? I'm going by train. Department chief is taking a taxi. I have my own car, but it'd be rash to drive it home. Can't blow it right before retirement with a DUI. Oh. Even though he could still rattle off, it looked like his legs were already jelly. And also, there's no legal limit when it comes to drinking in Japan. It's like, if you drink, you can't drive. Like, flat out, no alcohol. Pushing him into the cab, I give the driver the department chief's address. Well, see you again tomorrow. Best wishes. Oishi-san. Yeah. Past incidents have all been closed. Stop lumping them all together. Those villagers half believe it's really a curse. Well, I'm not convinced. You're gonna be retired next year, aren't you? Aren't you gonna pay off your mortgage with your severance pay and move up to Hokkaido with your mom? Oh, that's where he's gone? Mother pines to return to her birthplace. It's the least I could do. And the pension, well, it'll let me enjoy myself in Susukino. Where's Susukino? I've heard of that. I didn't go there. Oh, it's a part of Sapporo. Or maybe I did go there then. I probably did. Hold on. I need to actually see it on the map. Can I see it on... Okay, I'll just go on Google Maps. You know... Sapporo. Okay, yeah, it's just a street. It's just a residential area? Near Odori Park. I went to Odori Park. I think I've been here. It's where's the station? Oh, that's the hotel. Okay, so it was pretty close to the hotel I was in. The only amount of people I follow on Twitter talking about Ramadan. I've been around Susukino, it looks like, but I don't think I went there. The hotel I was at is like walking distance, though. I might have been there. Oh, here's Susukino. No, wait, I think... There weren't that many stations in Sapporo, so maybe. Nah. Chief said he may have reconsidered issuing your special retirement salary raise. Oh! Public servant severance payment is calculated based off their monthly salary when they retire. So a special promotion of 2 pay grades is given before retirement. Oh. This tops up the employee severance payment. That tends to be how it's done around here. Of course, it's not exactly a commendable custom. Incidentally, the difference that 2 pay grades makes to the payment is quite significant, yeah? I'd expect no less of our egghead chief. Quite the model-veiled threat, but, well... Considering how our pay comes from the public's hard-earned taxes, it's the way of the times, I suppose. Certainly wasn't a laughing matter, but I'll laugh through it anyway. I don't think it's such a model response. But given how hard you've worked, it's not at all odd for you to take home such a good package. Personally, I'd like you to get it. If I can get it, well, of course I'd want it. Nah. You'll get it. As long as you're an adult about this. Sorry for holding you up here, driver. Thank you very much. I closed the door roughly, interrupting the department chief's conversation a bit rudely. It looked like he still had something to say, but he just smiled wryly and waved. I waved in return. The cab sped up gradually and soon disappeared among the sea of lights. Oh, don't do that to me. That was creepy. Oh man. I wonder if I'll be able to repay that loan. What loan? Okay. Dave. Chapter 9. We should be able to do this in 2 more streams. Oh, end of chapter 9. Maybe 1 more stream. No, 2 more. 2 more streams, probably. Aboon. That's probably how we'll do it. I think there are 3 chapters left. Right? Let me check. Let me just double check real quick. What? Oh, there we go. We finished Nap, or is it? Yeah. We have like 1 stream left of Nap that I kind of like. I don't really want to do, but like literally we're at the end. I'm pretty sure. Oh, it's not really explaining it well. Okay, hold on. I think I can figure it out by looking at the achievements. And not all of them are like that. Oh, wait, here we go. 5 chapters left? I don't know. I can't really tell. Banner swimsuit alts when? We do have some, but I do want problem solver swimsuit alts, I will say. I've always wanted that. Alright, that'll be it. Maybe something tomorrow. Who knows what could happen. Likely. This is the highest chance of happening. If you have any better ideas, tell me. Honestly. I'm down for anything. Well, almost anything. Alright, bye-bye. Lord Ibukum. Ah. Make sure you use your Ibu coin. Ibushiko coin. Ibushi coins. I need to remember how to say it. I need to remember. You want Fuka? Oh, that would be nice. Glorb multiplayer stream? You could do that. Like what? Like what though? Get fucked, Bora.